Okay, we're going to approach revision 2A question 1, which is this question. And the very first step in which we do this question is to open up the template files and immediately save as your admin number underscore 2D. I think that's what's written in the question paper. Okay, so I'll show you how to go about doing the first step, which is to draw the plan view. That's what's required of you. Okay, now you open up AutoCAD, you open up the file. Your file extension is usually by default .dwg. You need to switch to .dwt, and then you need to go to your T drive, okay, which is on the test day itself is your T drive, but for me, my computer here, it is it is under one of my revision folder. Alright, and this is the question that I open up. Okay, now once you have opened this up, you need to save it. Okay, just click save as, and instead of .dwt, you need to switch it back to .dwg, and you need to save it back in your T drive, which is the test folder. Alright, but for demonstration, I'm going back to my own personal folder to save my file in my revision 2A, and I save it. You're supposed to save it as your admin number 123456 underscore 2D. Okay, and then you save your file. Now always remember to fill in your title block, your admission number, and all these have to be in capital letters. After you've done that, they have given you the front view, and what you need to do is you need to move it. Okay, you select the move icon, choose the whole entire sketch, and move it to the bottom. Okay, move it further down to the bottom because there are no dimensions at the bottom, so it's okay. Right. Now once you are done with that, by default you will be in the dimension DIM style, so just ensure that you're in the DIM style. And then the first thing I'll draw is my construction lines. Okay, and for my style, I usually like to draw these construction lines where I click on the draw extended menu, and then I select the construction line icon. Okay, and I type V for vertical, and I have vertical lines, and I zoom in and I click on the extremes. Alright, I click on the extremes that I'll be working on. Okay, this data and this will be visible. Okay, then what I'll do next is I repeat that same command and I type horizontal. Right? How to repeat the same command? I press the space bar and that repeats the command. Okay, and for this time around, I'll move it just a little bit higher because later on I'm going to add dimensions in this region, so I'll push this just a little bit higher. Okay, and just to make sure that my plan view will not be out of the border, I'm going to do an offset, and I know the total width of the part is 64, so I type in 64, enter, and I just want to make sure, yes, my view is well within the drawing borders. Okay, I press escape. Oh, it didn't register. Do again, 64. Escape. Alright, and I'm going to start drawing first. I'll draw the rectangle, so what I'll do is I'll draw the outline. Then, I usually would like to draw my center line as well. So my offset distance is 32 for my center line. Okay, and usually I'll draw my center line first. That helps me. And then Some of you like it, you can draw a whole entire rectangle for the base. Now it's really simple, right? Because the answer is already given to you here. So you just have to replicate this drawing, whatever that you see here on the top. Okay, so you just have to replicate it. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my outline and I'm going to draw the base, the entire base first. Then I'm going to do a fillet and type R for radius, and I know my radius is 8 millimeters because I do the math. 64 minus 48, right, which is the distance between these two, and then you divide it by 2 because it's shared between the two radius, and that works out to be 8. Okay, and so let me do that again. You click the fillet, you type R for radius, and the value is 8, and then what I do is I select this, I select this, oh sorry, press space bar to repeat that command, right? Then the next thing that I'll deal with is the center lines, or actually what I can do is do a construction line. Okay, this technique is let me stick to the fail-safe technique. Okay, the fail-safe technique is the construction line. You type V for vertical, you zoom in, and you snap on the construction line. Okay, and you zoom in over here, and I know the radius is 8, so I do an offset. Then what I do is oh no, sorry, I need to still, because I don't know the diameter of the circle, right? Unfortunately that was not dimensioned, so therefore what you can do is you can draw your construction line based off the hidden line that's here. Okay, so when you go up over here, you go to your outline and you draw your circle. Then you go to your center line and you draw your center line that exceeds the outline just by a little bit, and that. Okay, now once this is all done, you can delete away the unnecessary construction lines so that you don't you don't confuse yourself. Okay, now what I'm going to do next is, let me get rid of this as well. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to mirror away. So I'm going to click mirror, and I use the green box to select all the items that I want to mirror. Okay, then once I've selected the object, right click to accept, then I create my mirror plane. Okay, and then I'll mirror again all these items. Maybe I'll do a blue box instead. Click mirror. This is the blue box, so I need to ensure that everything is selected. Right click, and the mirror line is from here to here. Okay, so I got the base out. The next thing I'm going to draw is my approach is to draw the base, draw the outer cylinder, the rib, the inner rings, and then after that the extension, the features here, and then the extension, the features from left to right. So I'm approaching from left to right, right? So once that's done, since I'm in the center line, I might as well do my center line here. And the center line is for the circle. It doesn't go past the outline of the base because it's not symmetrical about the y-axis, it's symmetrical about the x-axis. Okay, so next is I'm going to draw the circle, and the radius, the diameter of the circle, okay, if this affects you, the diameter of the circle is 56. Okay, fell short. Alright, now once I have this ready, I know that, oh bummer me, I deleted my earlier construction line, but never mind, I'll put it back again for my center line because I realized I need it. Draw order center back. Yep. And what I'll do now is I'm going to offset, I'm going to draw the rib. The rib is 14 millimeters in width, so it's 7 on each side. Alright, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw it out. Oh, through that. We'll go to our outline, line type. I'm going to draw my rib, and then I'll do my trimmings. Okay, I don't need this anymore. This is for my rib. Now don't bother about the cut, we'll trim that later. We'll go about with all the circles. Okay, there is the outer diameter circle, and the diameter dimension is not given, so what we can do is we can make use of our construction lines again, and I make use of the infinite ones, type V for vertical, and the one that is to be shown is here. Then there is the cone, there is the hole. Yeah, these are outlines, and this one here will be a hidden line, the one at the bottom. Okay, now based on that, I know there are a lot of lines, but if you're not confident, you can draw them one at a time. But if you're okay, then just go for it, right? For me this time around, I need to switch to my radius. And the first one is an outline. The second hole is a hidden line, right? Third hole is back to an outline. This is the countersunk hole, and this is the true hole. Okay. Now you've got all the holes, and I have not. Then you need to draw the tap hole over here. Okay. Let me offset the width of the extension or the feature that is on the right hand side, and it is by 32, so you offset on each side by 16. Okay. So it's by 16 on each side. And since I'm in the outline, I might as well draw, if I'm not wrong, oh okay, this is the far edge. Okay. Then what I'll do is I'll go to my center line, and then this is another trick that you can do, but you just need to ensure that your part is symmetrical. I mean your line is vertical, sorry. So what you do next is you just delete this. You make use of that center line as something like your construction line. Okay. Right. So this is the circle, and I know there are a lot of lines and it's confusing, but it's okay. Take it one step at a time. Right, and this one goes all the way through to the second line over here. Okay, then you repeat that for the same thing. And what I'm going to do is, to avoid any mistakes, I'm going to trim this away. Right, so this is trimmed away, and this one here is a hidden line, so I replace it with a hidden line. Now if you're comfortable with the break command, you can make use of that. Now I delete away this construction line just to make sure that is there. Okay, this one here is an outline. Okay, and then I'll trim away the inner rim. Going over here, the next one, as I progress towards the right, the features that I'm drawing out, and this is the hidden line. Right, this is a hidden line because if you were to go down, you will not be able to see this edge. Okay, then you would go and draw the circle, the outline, draw the circle, and what I can do is I can make use of this. Okay, if we do this tracking, right, that will save you a bit of time, but it's a bit risky if you're not able to track it properly. Okay, so if you don't feel comfortable with that, you could always just go to your construction lines and type V for vertical, and then you snap this. Okay, there's one more circle at the bottom, and then there is a small little hole over here. Okay, so what you can do is you can go back this is the little diameter. Okay, and then you have I'm going to mirror this. And I'm going to draw the outline of the hole. Sorry, the hidden line of the small hole. Okay. And you give yourself a quick check. Yes, you got most of the features. I left the threaded hole last. I'm going to handle it now. And the way I'll do it is, just want to be consistent. This is the center line, the outline, and the thin line. Okay, so going to draw the outline first. Then I'm going to draw the thin line. And then what I'll do is I'll do the break. Oops. Over here, and then I'll trim. And I've got the break. Then I'll go over to the center line. And I add this center line for the threaded hole. Okay. Now after this, what you do is you turn off your construction lines, and you check your drawing and make sure that you did not miss out any outlines, any hidden lines, any thin lines, and any center lines. Okay, so you go through that thought process and you check it with your paper, and you make sure that you have this view out. Right, so this is the first step that we do for the plan view. Okay, With that, then you save your work intermittently, and I'll see you in the next video where I move on to the subsequent steps.